Week 9 continues this evening from the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas, as the Fort Worth Toros play host to the Vancouver Legion. Good evening, everybody. I am Mike Daggs, and with me in the booth is the ice expert himself, Gerald Smith. With us on stats tonight, Ron Haynes and Rochelle Colston. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Gerald, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Fort Worth in the stadium has that good clear ice.
They do have that good clear ice here, I know, not that cylinder ice. So we got a football game, or are we betting on chicken grease? What are we doing tonight, Gerald?
This one could turn into a shootout as both teams are averaging over 31 points per game this season. Vancouver boasts the number 2 offense in the league, led by the dual threat running backs of Logan Lee and Robert Redford, the backfield that averages nearly 7 yards per carry, along with nearly 200 yards per game this season. The undefeated Toros have the number 1 scoring defense in the league, along with having the number 2 rush defense led by veteran linebacker E.K. Vincent. But don't sleep on their offense either, as they have the SFL's leader in receptions and wide receiver Stephen Hacker, who has been tough to cover all season. Whichever team can slow down their opponent's best aspect of the game has the best chance to come away with the victory.
Well, as Matt Wilson would say, there's only one way to find out, and that's on the field. So we'll head down to the field, get this one started, where it appears that Fort Worth has the ball teed up, and they are ready for kickoff. Amelia Rose kicks it away. 5 yards deep into the end zone. It will be down for a touchback. Christian Brown is the quarterback for Vancouver. Backup quarterback Austin Blanco. We'll see if he makes an appearance later on in the game. Logan Lee is the halfback, and Robert Redford is also the halfback. Sawyer Stern, the fullback. Chris Suncieri, Brett Killian, Himothy, Mosum King, Zorro Lunar, Chris Curtis himself are the wide receivers. Abad Ruiz the second. Stephen McMichaels, the tight end. Brown pitches that out to the left-hand side. Logan Lee gets a first down, gets a little bit more, steps out of bounds after getting the first down. 22 carries, 209 yards, 3 touchdowns last week in what ultimately was a loss to Portland. Gerald.
And believe it or not, Logan Lee has actually rushed for over 200 yards the past 2 weeks. It's kind of hard to believe that, your running back rushes for over 200 yards and your quarterback throws for nearly 400 and you lose that game.
Not very common to see something like that. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Brown trying to hit Sunseri. Falls to the turf. Mike Coverson, Perrin Ibarra, Michael Percoco, and Mike Newtones make up the offensive line. Second down and 10 now from the 33-yard line. Brown back to throw. Quick pass over the middle. That one's caught by BK12. Third down and 3 after a gain of 7.
Yeah, Brett Killian coming through with a pretty good stab out of the air, right? Recently, seems like he was a star in the flag football game at the previous convention. Big, tall guy.
You know who wasn't a star?
Me.
Yeah, us guys over 40. That's why I stuck to being a drone pilot that day. Third down and 3 for Vancouver. The pitch out to the left. Stiff arming the defender. Brought down for a loss. Fourth down after a big tackle made by E.K. Vincent, the 12-year vet.
Yeah, we noted him in the opening there, right? He is the leader of this defense, and he's come through with a big tackle right there to force a punt.
So not a 3 and out, but relatively close to it, as they weren't even able to cross midfield. Punt is away, and the final undefeated team in the league, the 6-0 Fort Worth Toros, send their offense out onto the field to see what they're able to do on their first drive. Marcus Dunhill leads the team. He is the quarterback. 19 of 30, 214 yards, no touchdowns, no picks last week. It was Jay-Z Bacon that did a bulk of the work on offense. 30 rushing attempts for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Fort Worth beating Mexico City 20-3. Dunhill under center for first down. Hands the ball off to Bacon. Bacon breaking tackles, getting the first down. Yes, they'll spot him just past the line to gain. You saw Dunhill, you saw Bacon. Who else is on this offense? Aaron Alexander is the fullback. Cade Stevens, Charlie Baker, and Stephen Hacker are the wide receivers. RG Jr., Robert Garrett Jr., the Cowboy. He's the tight end, number 44, along with Rochelle Johnson. Emilio Panda is the left tackle. Frank Burks is the left guard. There's the offensive lineup at the bottom of your screen.
Look at Eric Alexander's size, 5'8", 208, 5'11", 208.
Meatball.
He's kind of a small guy.
Oh, you can't leave that guy wide open. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. First down for the Toros. Robert Garrett Jr. with the catch.
Yeah, and speaking of size, you got Robert Garrett Jr. at 6'7", 268 coming off the line and been able to find some space just on the out route. And Vancouver gave him a lot of space. I mean, he had nobody within 5 yards from him when he caught that ball.
Just a little too wide open. There's the defensive lineup for Vancouver. Achilles Papatonis, Cabron Womack, Gerald Judas Sessi, Michael Rury are the defensive linemen. Josh Farnsey, DJ Woods, and Marquise Reed at linebacker. Wide open over the middle. Stephen Hacker, another first down for the 6-0 Toros.
Yeah, he's one of the few players in the league, especially in wide receivers, that says, I don't need gloves to be able to catch the ball. He just tape up his fingers. Old school, just grip it and rip it. It looks like he doesn't have his stylish mustache. I can't really see through his helmet that he's had for seasons, you know. Maybe it's no look. He just, hey, let me just do it. We're undefeated. Maybe he's going to keep shaving it if they keep winning, yeah?
Vancouver coming into today's game at 3-3. They've had an up and down season. As Bacon gets a handoff, runs over through the middle. Vancouver played Alamo City to get the season started. Alamo City was 7-0 coming into this week. And Vancouver lost that opening game. They would win the next two, Las Vegas and Mexico City. Lost to Arizona. They then beat Los Angeles, then lost to Portland. They're due for a win if they follow that pattern. We'll see how this game ends up progressing. Second down and 4. Bacon pushes through, gets the first down inside the 30.
And they're getting really, really good blocks up front right here for J.C. Bacon to be able to kind of, navigate his way through the line. And one of the things we need to look for, too, one of the dominant forces on that Vancouver defense is Papatonis from the defensive inside, number 77. So he actually leads his team with 5 sacks on the season. So that's going to be interesting to watch, that matchup between him and that right tackle.
First down and 10 now from the 27-yard line. Bacon rushes forward once again. Second down and 6.
Mark Lopez coming up, the 11-year veteran coming up and getting inside the box right there. The safeties are going to have to start coming up to be able to slow down J.Z. Bacon, it seems. And, because he's getting way too much space running up the middle. And Mark Lopez is starting to recognize that.
Is over 200. He had 271 yards and 3 touchdowns back on August 5th when they were playing against Seattle. Already has a bunch here tonight. And it's only the first drive. Pass over the middle is deflected and incomplete. Second down. Roll through the rest of the defense. Emmanuel Blackman, Michael Lister, Zach Lay, and Will Stern are the corners. Mark Lopez is not only a spreadsheet wizard, but also the free safety. Drew Hamilton and J.J. Winfield are the strong safeties for this Vancouver defense.
That was a very good defensive sequence right there on that last play for Vancouver. One of the better plays that they've had where they were, right on the wide receiver and been able to knock the ball to the ground.
I formation on second down. Dunhill throws up top, incomplete, but a flag on the play. I think they're going to get him for pass interference. They are. That looked like good coverage.
Yeah, it looked like it was bang bang. I'm not sure what they saw there, but I think we're going to get another look at it here. We're going to see if he got there just a little bit early. Looked like it was really, really good coverage. It may have got there a split second sooner. I don't know.
Emmanuel Blackman called for the pass interference. His first season with Vancouver, coming over in free agency from the London Knights. Made an all-star game back in season 18, 6 seasons in the league now. Getting flagged for that pass interference call. Sets him up with a first down and goal from about the 6-yard line. Dunhill throws up top. Aaron Alexander surges his way in. Touchdown, Toros.
I could have sworn Vancouver brought the house to stop that play specifically, but Aaron Alexander was able to grab it and break a tackle and run right in there. Looked like they had somewhat of a jailbreak. It's like they just read what it was, and I couldn't believe he was able to break the tackle and actually make something happen.
Extra point try by Amelia Rose is up, is good. 7-0 Vancouver. Fort Worth after a 9-play, 74-yard drive. The Toros out in front. Aaron Alexander, the ball carrier, being able to bring it in for the Fort Worth touchdown. It's his first on the season, Gerald. J.Z. Bacon hogging all the touchdowns in the running game. Top 10 in the league. He came into this week with 12 rushing touchdowns. Aaron Alexander, on the other hand, had 0. Gets that one into the end zone and scores. In fact, in 5 seasons, Gerald, that's the first time Aaron Alexander has ever scored a touchdown.
And that was only his 3rd catch this season.
The O has got to go. Well, he got that one in. He did have he had a receiving touchdown, I should say. He did not have any rushing touchdowns prior to that, but at some point in his career, he had a receiving touchdown in the past. That one I almost want to say
that's a rarity.
It could have been counted as a run because it looked like it was slightly a backwards pass.
No, I think it was a forward pass.
Well, we'll leave that up to Ron.
Well,
Hayes and Rochelle
I mean, when you get
out.
lasers just chop your eyeballs up, I think something could happen wrong at some point.
Yeah, it all went south. Anyway, Vancouver back on offense. Chris Brown completes that pass. Christian Brown creates the. Wow, I think I just had a stroke. 2nd down and 2.
English is hard. That would be Christian Brown, or you could say CB4.
CB4 with the completion.
It's a 3rd and 2. 2nd and 2.
Same thing, relatively speaking. Pitch down to Lee. Yep, stiff arms the defender down. Steps out of bounds. Gets the first down.
Yeah, and this is what Vancouver has not had any issues rushing the ball all season or getting points on the board, right? The thing that they've had struggled with at times during the season is on the defensive side, stopping the opponent from actually, putting points on the board on them, right? So if they can somehow try and stabilize that here, because Fort Worth is by far one of the most efficient offenses in the league outside of Alamo City, in my opinion, right? Seeing them both play quite a bit.
Another pitch to Logan Lee. Stiff arms another defender. Gets the first down. Steps out of bounds. Right at about midfield. Logan Lee just piling on the yards. Has about 31 now on the day.
Yeah, and he just put J.L. Browning right into the ground and keeps on running for the first down. But they're gonna have to keep doing something similar like that. But Fort Worth, having the number 2 ranked rushing defense in the league, I don't know how long they're going to be able to do that before Fort Worth starts, slowing that rushing game down.
First down and 10 from the 48-yard line. Chris Curtis moved up to the top. Lee back on the ground. Hit at the line. Gains about a yard before he's brought down by the Toros defender. 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, and that's what Fort Worth kind of has been doing to keep their run defense pretty good, right? So whenever teams try to run to the outside, they're able to string it out, push them toward the sideline until they're able to get help to kind of keep from, running backs from getting any bulk yardage.
Brown deep over the middle. BK12 gets another catch, gets another first down up to the 34-yard line.
And just when you get stopped for 1 yard on first down, you come in on second down, 2nd and 9, you just drop back to pass, and you hit your star wide receiver on a post route coming out from the outside right there. And now you're on the fringe of field goal range here.
17-yard completion to Brett Killian. Defensive lineman for Fort Worth, Jeff Duffy, Jerry D. Gond, Luther Gond, John Nevels, E.K. Vincent, Sonny Sky, and J.L. Browning are the outside linebackers. Or the linebackers, I should say. 2nd down and 10. The cornerbacks, Tavius Gordon, Adam Leach, Remington James, and Aiden Davis. The safeties, Ben Stone and Delaney Nash. 2nd down and 10 for Vancouver.
Ben Stone was a minor league quarterback, believe it or not. They turned him into a fine free safety for their squad.
Robert Redford getting in on the action. Gets his first carry of the ball game. Good for a gain of 3. 3rd down and 7 from the 30. They're right on 2 wins range. See if they can convert this. Brown back to throw. Throws past the first down marker, and why not? Throw it right back to Brett Killian again, his 3rd catch of the ball game. Another one that went for a first down.
Right, and it was a similar route, right? He was able to get off the line and get separation, run a very, very good route, especially in man coverage. When you have that bunch together like that in man coverage and you have wide receivers crossing, it can sometimes confuse the DBs as to who they need to get, who they need to stay on or switch off or something like that, and they weren't just able to stay on him, and he just ran a good route and got the team right there at the 12-yard line. 17-yard line. Math is hard.
Yeah. I agree. As soon as I get past 10, I run out of fingers, and I'm not sure what else to do. 3 receivers down to the bottom. Empty up top. Brown goes over the middle. Gets it back to Killian, who gets caught up in traffic. He's able to still manage a gain of 4. Sets him up with a 2nd down and 6. Final minute approaching here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, Christian Brown obviously has a favorite target tonight so far. I mean, that's Brett Killian's 4th catch of the game.
He's the only one that's received a pass so far from Brown. Logan Lee back on the ground. 3rd down and 2. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your play today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. You can click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Got another minor league season coming up, and season 22 will be right around the corner. Oh, hitting the backfield again, brought down and stopped. It was J.L. Brown and got there first, and I think Sonny Sky cleaned it up. 4th down and 1, and a chance to win on the field now for a field goal try so far this season. Mr. 2-win, 12 of 12. That one is up. Started off left, hooked back right. That one's good. 12 plays, 71 yards, ending in a field goal. Vancouver cuts into Fort Worth's lead. Toros now out in front, 7-3. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad series for Vancouver there, right? They were able to go down there, kind of respond, get some points on the board, but they're going to have to be able to stop this offense from doing anything, right? Because last time it looked like it was a bit too easy for Fort Worth on their first drive going down there in the way they did. Just timely passes, quick passes, and very, very good blocking up front for Bacon.
Calling a Fort Worth game always makes me hungry. Gerald Jay-Z Bacon in the backfield. 21 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Dunhill hands it off to Bacon. He'll gain a couple on the play. Had 35 yards on 5 carries through their first drive. which resulted in a touchdown. Only drive number 2 for the Toros, so 1 quarter down, Gerald. They only had 1 drive and then 1 play. See what they can do here in the second quarter. Right on the other side, you're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Welcome to the other side. We're already there. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith, Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston with us on stats, Cameron Irvine, our producer, Marcus Dunhill, the Fort Worth quarterback. He's down on the field, ready to get going. 2 receivers up top, 1 to the bottom, 2 backs in the backfield. Dunhill to throw. Vancouver sending pressure, doesn't get there, and they pay the price as Cade Stevens is able to get a nice catch and gain crossing midfield.
Yeah, and if you're gonna run that blitz, you better be sure you get home, because you have nobody in the middle, and in man coverage where your DBs are typically following a wide receiver, it's really, really tough to hold that man in tight coverage if you're not able to get home in those blitzes. So
Cade Stevens went 4 of 68 in the Toros' last game against the Aztecs. Week 7 matchup. Both teams coming off a bye. Bacon breaking a couple tackles, crossing the 40, crossing the 30. One man to beat, 10, and spins, but gets caught up at about the 10 to 11 yard line. But a huge gain by J.Z. Bacon, piling it on.
He just hit the edge right there, and he's able to run through a tackle. I believe it was Mark Lopez, maybe right there. Maybe it might have been somebody else. No, it was Mark Lopez, but able to run through that tackle. That was the only guy that had a chance at getting him up until he got inside the 15-yard line.
Mark Lopez didn't write a good enough formula to make that tackle.
Well, he's gonna need to write some kind of formula with him and his teammates. Maybe bring his other safety and Drew Hamilton or Winfield up there with him to try and help stop this run.
Bacon inside the 10, brought down at about the 6-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Just continues to tack on the yards. 30 rushes in their last game, week 7.
They have such a good blocking scheme right here, right? They only have 2 high-paid offensive linemen on the Fort Worth line, but their blocking schemes have been excellent.
Bacon brought down after a 2-yard gain this time, wrapped up by DJ Woods. 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, the rookie coming through right in the middle right there, just trying to get to 3rd down and then get to 4th down right here, right? This is very huge. And look, it's 8.7 yards a carry. 78 yards already, only on 8 or 9 carries.
They'll go right back down to the well, and why not? He waltzes into the end zone for his 13th touchdown of the season. 13 points, 13 touchdowns. J.Z. Bacon, touchdown Toros.
Made it easy when you got big Frank Burks pulling right off his guard position to lead the way. Gave him such security that he had nothing to worry about and was untouched in the end zone to put his team up by 10.
10 rushing attempts by Bacon, 86 yards. He's got a rushing touchdown now. Had 51 yards on that drive alone. Extra point by Amelia Rose is forthcoming. It's up, it's good. Toros 14, Vancouver 3. That's why they're undefeated. If you're liking the game so far, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year, and there is nobody else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. About 3 yards deep in the end zone, he's going to take it out. Suncieri returns it up past the 25, breaks another tackle up to about the 30-yard line. That is where Christian Brown will take back over on offense. It's been 2 Vancouver drives so far, Gerald. Their first one went 5 plays, only 18 yards. They had to punt. But then they were able to go 12 plays, 72 yards. The drive stalled out, though. They had to settle for a 26-yard field goal. Brown So far, 5 of 6 for 50 yards. 4 of those passes going to Brett Killian. Logan Lee, 8 rushing attempts, 37 yards. Here comes rushing attempt number 9, which goes for a single yard. 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, and that's where Fort Worth's strength is, right there in stopping the run. I mean, they have a good overall defense in general, but I mean, them having the number 2 rush defense, and Vancouver's strength is the run game. So if they can neutralize Vancouver, I mean, it seems like they just might be skating by pretty easy. So Vancouver might have to shake some things up on offense.
Brown throws it behind the line of scrimmage to Logan Lee. They spot him another yard on that one. But a big 3rd down and 8 coming up now, Gerald. They don't want to give the ball back to Fort Worth quite this quickly.
No, and then you got to look to some of your other guys here, right? Of your 5 receivers you got on your squad, with the leading receiver being Chris Curtis in receptions.
Oh no, that one went the other way. Picked off by Delaney Nash to the 20, the 10, running out of gas, but in the end zone. Pick 6. Touchdown Toros, and this one's already getting out of control.
With the run defense of Fort Worth doing what they're doing on 1st and 2nd down, they know exactly what's going to come on a 3rd and long, because they know Vancouver needs to push the ball down the field. It's easy to drop back and kind of play some zone coverage right there, and being able to have a guy like Delaney Nash just sitting back there watching the quarterback eyes, waiting to throw it his way, and he did, and he caught it, and he ran it in for 6.
First pick 6 on the season for Delaney Nash, his 3rd interception this season. 3rd pick 6 of his career. Delaney Nash, the 7-season vet, getting some points on the board for his team. Amelia Rose kicks the extra point, 21-3, and we're not even midway through the 2nd quarter. Vancouver's got to get something figured out, and they got to get it figured out quickly.
I think that's a severe understatement, because Vancouver has had 2 not so good drives, 1 pretty good drive where that amounted in points, but they got to get something turned around right now, because maybe they might be able to get something going in the run game still, but as of right now, Fort Worth is doing an excellent job at the run game, and they're going to force them into the pass, and you've seen just what happened on that last drive.
Kick return taken up to the 31-yard line. We'll see what Brown can do now. It's only not completed 2 passes, so he's the only passes he's completed are the ones to Killian. He's thrown the ball. Well, he got it to a bad Ruiz at one point as well, but 6 of 8. Has thrown a pick now, 51 yards. He's got to take care of the football, get down the field, see if they can turn this drive into something. Starting out with a 3-receiver set. Brown, very short drop, throws into traffic.
Oh, not another one.
Yeah, picked right back off. Aiden Davis jumps right in front of it. Read that route like a book. There's a pickle on the field. That was a little weird. But other than that, Fort Worth ball once again that quick.
Look, and they have Vancouver so confused with like the coverages that they're running right here in the passing game, because if you look at it, Fort Worth was able to bring pressure on that play and also have the perfect zone coverage to rush a throw and step right in front of it. This could get out of hand like really, really fast. It's already out of hand.
Yo, very much so. Marcus Dunhill back on the field. 4 or 5. It's been the Bacon show. Hands it back off to Bacon right now. Gains 5, and he makes those 5-yard gains look easy. And as Matt Wilson would always tell me, hey, listen, if you're gaining 5 yards a carry, you're just going to keep getting first downs. You gain 5, then you get another 5, you got a first down. And
you'll never be behind the chains at that
mathematician,
point, right?
That Matt Wilson.
Matt was a lot of things. I don't know if a mathematician was one of them.
Only if it was by 5s. That's the easy math. Bacon getting caught up behind the line, but still.
Oh, look at this.
Still, it don't matter if you get caught up behind the line. He'll just go ahead and gain a whole bunch. Gets another first down. Already back inside the red zone. 6 minutes to go here in quarter number 2.
No discredit to Vancouver right now, but as of right now, it just doesn't look like Vancouver even belongs on the field with Fort Worth right now with how this game has gone for the first quarter and a half.
You know, and Gerald, we were looking at the stats before the game started, and we noticed that currently the strength of schedule for Fort Worth is 27th. That's last. It's the lowest strength of schedule in the league. So have they just had an easy time getting to 6-0, or are they actually an elite team? So far, I'm going with they're an elite team.
If you had any question, this kind of stage right here kind of proves it, right? That they are legit, right? They're up 18 points and threatening to score right now.
Bacon takes a break on that one. 38 with the carry, loss of 1. Second down and 11.
That's probably the biggest defensive play from Vancouver. And it was on the back of running back for a 1-yard loss.
Bacon back out on the field on second down. They're going to go over the middle. That one was Vancouver's for the taking. Could not capitalize off the tip drill. Good coverage on the play by Drew Hamilton. Third down and 11. Obviously goes without saying, Gerald, but it would very much behoove Vancouver get them off the field.
Well, they're going to have to watch what they do here, right? Because, even though they blitzed right there, was able to get that ball down, they just haven't got the pressure on the quarterback that they wanted to rush a throw or even get a sack. And it looks like they're coming out in man coverage here.
Play action. Dunhill looks, fires, end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Toros. The Cowboy gets it into the end zone for 6.
Right, RGJ coming through. And he actually caught that in coverage, right? It's another thing in man coverage, right, where they brought an extra guy to blitz off.
Jeez.
Oh, and Mark Lopez, I don't know if he didn't see it or what, but he was right in front of that ball and just let it go right by him.
He's double covered. How do you stop him? Guy's double covered. He gets the touchdown reception. Robert Garrett Jr. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. Garrett Jr. with a little over 100 yards on the season. That was actually his second touchdown reception. He's got over 5,600 yards all time. Touchdown number 34 on his illustrious 9-season career. 4-time All-Star, most recently back in season 19. Robert Garrett Jr. getting it done here tonight at home in Fort Worth. Vancouver, on the other hand, struggling mightily. Got to get this one turned around. Back out on offense once again. Let's talk about their drive summaries so far, Gerald. They started off 5 plays, 18 yards, and punted. And then they had the 12-play, 72-yard drive where they were able to get a field goal. Since then, it's gone from bad to worse. Threw a pick 6, and then immediately back out onto the field. 1 play, threw a pick, and now back on offense now. So coming off back-to-back drives with interceptions.
Yeah, and they got to do something else other than throw an interception, right? Because that just isn't what it is. Look at them coming.
Profound analysis.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying, they got to do something else what they've been doing because it hasn't been working. So look, and I don't think Vancouver is doing anything wrong. I just think Fort Worth is just got it going on right now on defense.
Sure do. 3 down linemen for the Toros. Christian Brown over the middle and throws another pick. Adam Leach this time taking it away. 3 drives, 3 picks. And if you're a Vancouver fan, the sick feeling in your stomach just has to be pounding as Fort Worth able to get another interception. Adam Leach with 6 picks on the season. Make that 7. Excuse me. No. I'm totally making up numbers now. 2nd pick on the season for Adam Leach. Adding on to this defensive total, Gerald, they now have a combined 14 interceptions on the season. That's top 5 in the league. Bacon,
and
he's just gonna add insult to injury as he gets a run that nets a first down inside the red zone, just like that.
I mean, did the travel from British Columbia down to the heat of Texas just put a shock in these guys in the Legion or what? Because on offense, their last 3 plays have been picks, and on defense, they haven't been able to stop anything at all, and they just haven't looked good, right? Look, I mean, it seems like on the front, hey, they have the men there to take it, but they just can't make tackles.
4-yard gain for Bacon. And Gerald, if I was to tell you, running back for a team has 14 carries, 126 yards, and a touchdown, to me 123 yards, you're going to say, oh, that's a good stat line for a game. Yeah, we haven't hit halftime yet.
Yeah, it's if this trend continues, it could be bad. Look at this.
Bacon wrapped up at about the 20-yard line, 3rd down and 2. See if they can hold them to a field goal. Right now, that would, even a field goal, put them over 30 points.
Well, I mean, when your running back right now is averaging, 8.5 yards a carry, I put my money on J.Z. Bacon right here to pick up 1.5 yards.
Yeah, I would say that should not be much of a challenge for Bacon. Gets hit behind the line, and we were wrong. Brought down by Josh Farnsey. He's seen quite enough of this Bacon show. 28-yard field goal try forthcoming for Amelia Rose.
I'd say for the 3rd pick on as many plays for the Vancouver offense, for the defense to come in here and actually force a field goal attempt that is now good was a win for them.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a momentum shifter. Maybe things will start to turn around.
And that's 17 points off of 3 turnovers for Fort Worth in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to win ball games first off if you turn the ball over, right? It's even more difficult if you're turning it over and then surrendering points. Pick 6 goes without saying. That's just a devastating play all around. But then to still allow another 10 points off of those turnovers on top of it. Painful and very difficult to bounce back from. Josh Farnsey in the chat says, hey, Mark, just in time for historic comeback. So the enthusiasm's still there for Vancouver faithful.
It's you're almost halfway through the game, and I don't know.
It's a whole new drive. Last 3 pass attempts from Christian Brown picked off. So we'll go back down to Logan Lee. He'll only gain 1 yard, 3 minutes to go in half number 1.
Yeah, and that's one way not to throw a pick. Just hand it off to the running back, right? Just try to get yourself kind of, something positive going, right? I guess 1 yard gain is positive, but it's not where you want to be. And as this second quarter starts coming to a close, I mean, I wonder how far they go throw the ball. Look,
oh boy, Gerald, I thought that one was picked off too. J.L. Browning jumped right in front of it, nearly picked it off.
It's almost like Fort Worth knows exactly what's coming, and they have the right play styled up to just look. And that's why they are like the number 1 scoring offense in the league, only allowing 18 points a game because they just don't give up points. And how do you do it? You shut down the opposing offense.
3rd down and 9. That one finally complete. And completing it to a different receiver than we've seen so far. That one, Zorro Lunar getting first catch of the ball game. Good for 11. Moves the chain. Shout out to those of you in the chat joining us. Katie Murphy, Jerry D. Gone, DJ The Myth, Pure 2K12. T to Queen. Mike O'Neill is here. Logan Lee. Saw Mark Lopez. Curtis, he's there. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Lee caught up in the backfield and brought down for a loss. Tried hurdling over several defenders. Couldn't do it. Flag on the play as well. And it's a personal foul. Chop block. Clipping, I guess I should say. Illegal block in the back. You call it what you want. It's still a penalty. Fort Worth will accept 1st down and 26.
Right, so Sawyer Stern gets called for the clipping, but it's strange because you literally have a guy getting stuffed in the backfield, and then you go ahead and clip when he wasn't going nowhere to begin with. It's not like he gained any yards. He just went straight backwards.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. All Fort Worth so far in this one. 3 receiver set on 1st down. Draw play to Lee. He'll gain about 4. Second down and 22. Sad when you get a 4-yard gain and it's as good as a 12-yard sack.
I don't know. He got up with his arms out like he was flying, but he
excited.
only got 3 yards. I don't understand.
It's progress. Brown over the middle. Caught by Chris Curtis. He'll gain a bunch. What is that, 17? Third down and 5.
Yep, math is good on that one.
Yes.
So look, and as Matt would say, hey, you get put back like that, you want to at least get half of it all back, and they got more than half of it, right? So here they are, 3rd and 5, 3rd and manageable. They can turn this thing, which was 1st and 25. Now they're at 3rd and 5. If they can convert this, I think this is a pretty good win for them, right? One of the most positive things they could have happen is them convert this 3rd down right here.
Minute 11 to go in half number 1. Curtis in motion. He's in the slot on the bottom. Fort Worth will get the ball to start the second half. Brown over the middle into traffic, incomplete. 4th down, well outside field goal range. Do you just go for it or punt it away?
No, you punt it away. And it seems like Christian Brown is rattled. Maybe the Fort Worth defense has him rattled because he had time that time, but it seemed like he rushed to throw and threw it into coverage.
8 of 14. 3 interceptions for Christian Brown. Rattled indeed. Punt falls down at the 23-yard line, returned up to the 28. Flag on the play. We'll see what the call is. Perhaps. So another block in the back penalty on Fort Worth. Fans are not happy.
No, they're not happy. They're like,
Have they seen the scoreboard?
I just think they're like, they just want the blood to keep flowing, apparently, because
I guess so.
how dare we get backed up?
Yeah, a penalty. Boo, we're only up by 28. I think it's okay. It's all right. See what happens.
Hey,
48 seconds.
That must be hardcore in Fort Worth.
Sure are. You don't mess with Texas. Although that's just a catchphrase of the Department of Sanitation. Little known fact. Dunhill over the middle to Stephen Hacker. 1st down. Not in any particular hurry, though, Gerald. I think they might be content to take their 28-point lead in the halftime.
I would say so, because I do think that they actually get the ball back.
They do indeed.
After half. So, like, hey, why not? Let's just kind of just mosey on down. And if Bacon can break one, great. If he can't, still great. Our lead is still intact.
J.Z. Bacon adding on to his day. 128 yards and then some. Gets up to the 35-yard line, and that should be what brings us into halftime. Statement just in from Marcus Dunhill. They will siphon the blood until it's gone. That's devious.
That's some vampiric type talk.
Vampiric? Yeah. That's a big word. I guess it's a word. I never really thought about it, but yeah, the act of vampirish stuff.
Maybe that's
vampiric.
maybe that's what Marcus had in his wine bottle was just the blood of all of the defeated foes.
That's it. The blood and the tears of the Aztecs. I cried into his wine bottle. 31-3 at the half. Gerald, your thoughts so far on this lopsided matchup?
Vancouver's done nothing while Fort Worth has done everything right, and they look really, really dominant, right? Their defense has been dominant. Their offense has been dominant. You know, Vancouver just hasn't been able to get anything positive going outside of their 3 points. And that was their best looking drive. Other than that, it's just been so lackluster. Their offense looks rattled. They look like they don't even, it looks like they haven't even really shown up yet.
17 carries, 139 yards and a touchdown for J.Z. Bacon. 8.2 yards per carry. He's the halftime player of the game thus far, and if everything holds true, would not be at all surprised to crown him the player of the game. Welcome back to the Stockyard Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. I am Mike Daggs. The last time I checked, he is Gerald Smith. Got Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston with us on stats, feeding us numbers. Fort Worth's feeding us bacon. Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios. He is our producer. Ball returned up to the 27-yard line. And speaking of Cameron Irvine, we've got a game update from SFL Studios. Cameron Irvine, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. Houston's in Seattle today, and type attack and a roll out to the right, fired to Christian Bacigalupi in the end zone for the score. Houston fumbled the ensuing kickoff. Seattle got another score, 21-10 now, early in the second quarter in a fast-paced game in Washington. Back to you.
Christian Bacigalupi, one of the best names in the league.
By far.
Love it.
He wins the name game.
Sure does. Speaking of winning games, Fort Worth back out onto the field, 6-0 coming in. It looks like they're on their way to becoming 7-0. Still a whole half left. A whole half. There's still a half of football. Same thing. Bacon back out on the ground, adding on to his day.
Yeah, I think if you cut a football game in half, it's still half.
It's still the whole half left to go.
Yeah, the whole half.
It
It's
just
not half of the
sounds
half.
weird.
Half of the half will be a quarter.
Would be one of the quarters.
Which
Yeah.
is why there's 4 quarters in a whole game.
There are indeed 4 quarters in the. Well, not always. Sometimes there's 5.
That's not a quarter.
No, it's a new quarter. Overtime's a whole new quarter. But it is, though.
It's extra
just
time. No,
shaking
because
his
it's not
head.
like the time. If you score, it doesn't run like it's over.
But what if you don't score? Well, I mean, here in the SFL, we'd start yet another quarter. There could be 6. I've seen 7.
No, man, we got to do 8, 2 games, round numbers.
Heck yeah.
2 full games.
First things first, Vancouver needs to
quarters.
score 28 points and get this tied up. Dunhill fires over the middle. Vancouver needs some turnovers. You know, that's got to happen.
Well, I think where they need to start is stop blitzing like they are right now, because it's leaving them exposed and stuff like that, because the blitz isn't working. It's being picked up by the Fort Worth offense, and they're being hit those, slant routes, post routes, because a guy like Stephen Hacker, right, he's leading the league in receptions for a reason. He just knows how to get open. So when you have that guy out there and you're just running man coverage on him, I just don't think it's a recipe for success.
Vancouver's defense with 7 interceptions on the season. That's good for 7th in the league. So far tonight, they have 0. And that'll need to change if they're going to get this game turned around. Second down and 3. Offset eye in the backfield. Dunhill hands it off to Bacon, gets another first down at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and on the previous run play to this one here, we're talking about Vancouver running man right on a pass play. So it seemed like in that run play, just before this run play, they went to a zone and they ran right up the middle on them and nobody's around. Then they tried to switch to man on this one here, and Bacon just ran for a bulk of yards. So I don't know if Vancouver's ever going to have an answer for it right now.
Dunhill to throw, wide open. Stephen Hacker tackled at about the 17-yard line. First down and 10 inside the red zone. Vancouver, they've lost 3 games this season, Gerald. So far, the most they've lost by is only 11 points. Meanwhile, Fort Worth, they've won every game, obviously, undefeated. We've mentioned that. They have beaten another team by 28, which is what their current lead is. They took down Indianapolis 49-21 back in week 6. Bacon breaks a couple more tackles, gets another 5 yards, continues adding on yardage to his day. Second down and 5.
Look, and not only are they just putting up points like that, Fort Worth is, and being efficient on the ball, but, I mean, when you give up the least amount of points in the league so far over the course of, like their 6 games, they've only surrendered, 109 points, up to this point, which is a league low. So and even when Vancouver here in the run game, they actually hit Bacon, near the line of scrimmage, is able to break those tackles and actually just get more yards.
3rd down and inches. So we get updated numbers for Bacon, 175 yards. Look at that, 106 of them comes after his first hit. So they've been able to get a hand on him. It just doesn't matter. See what he does on this one. Bacon breaks the first tackle, gains another yard. 1st down and goal from the 2. And if you got a 1st down and goal from the 2, can it even be stopped? He's still averaging almost 8 yards per carry, 7.5 according to our statisticians.
No, the only, I guess, less than 4-ish yards tackle that they've had on these running backs for Fort Worth was when the backup came in, and it was a loss of 1.
Dunhill to Bacon. Bacon to the goal line, gets across, extended the ball. Another touchdown for the Toros.
It just made it look a little bit too easy right there, right? He got kind of stuffed in the back, but he knew he might not be able to get in with a couple of guys going there, so he dove at the line. And I don't know if we'll get a review here. We might get lucky if we get a review, but
it was close. But
I actually think it's pointless, though, because, you're down so much. Well, he's going to be at the inch line. He's going to get on the very next play, but, them being down potentially 35 points after this kick is just I'm going to say it. I don't think there's any way that Vancouver is going to be able to come back from this.
Vancouver trailing 38-3, looking defeated on the sideline. Currently trailing by 35 points. The biggest loss in franchise history was back in season 13 against the then Tallahassee Pride. They lost that game 49-7, so we'll keep an eye on the final score of this one. Hopefully for Vancouver, they're able to put some points on the board and cut that margin down at least a little bit. 10-play drive. Jay-Z Bacon toted the rock for 8 of those 10 plays. Thank you, Ron. Bacon over 180 yards now on the day. 25 carries, 2 touchdowns. Having himself a ball game. Christian Brown back on the field. 8 of 14. No touchdowns, 3 picks. Only has 82 yards so far.
The big key is those 3 picks, man. That just got them so far behind. That's
started with the pick
points,
6.
Yeah.
See what he can do. Can't abandon the pass. Got to keep going. Brett Killian, good for a gain of 9.
Yeah, that was a strange looking pass and play right there. Like it looked like Brett Killian just stopped and stopped on his knees or something. And I wasn't sure where the pass was going, but he was able to come up with it. But it's a good start to this drive. They just so far behind.
2nd down and 1. Able to get the 1st down at least. Move the chains, keep the drive going. Logan Lee, we talked about him earlier on as, big part of the game plans. Had some big games recently. He said, what was it, 2 weeks in a row, over 200 yards. Yep. Only has 44 yards so far in this one, and being down this much, I'm not sure how much more of an impact he'll be able to have.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, and I think their offense runs through their running game, and if they can get that running game going, I think it kind of puts them in a situation where, if they have to rely on the pass, even though Christian Brown up until this game was really efficient, right? And with his passing and completion percentage, but Fort Worth being able to stop the run, early on and then force them into passing situations and, it's forced Christian Brown into some mistakes that has been extremely costly for him.
Brown up top into double coverage. That one is incomplete. Tried to get back down to Brett Killian again. Killian in their last game, 8 receptions, 89 yards. And Chris Curtis, 7 receptions, 136 yards. And Chris Curtis has been a bit of a ghost tonight. Only 1 catch for 20 yards. Brett Killian, even with his 5 catches, 51 yards. Brown now 9 of 17 for 91 yards.
And this is where you definitely expect Chris Curtis and Brett Killian to kind of show up.
Getting it out to Lee. Can he get the first down? He can. So at least they'll continue to keep the drive going. A little check down pass to Logan Lee. And that's about 12.
Yeah, and that was a little bit unexpected, but it's something that Fort Worth was not looking for, right? So Vancouver is trying to change it up to get themselves in some positive situations. Hey, we're in 3rd and long. You know, they've been sitting back deep when we throw it deep, and they've been picking some balls off. So let's just try and dump it off, right? Let our receivers run those defenders, clear, and then dump it off to Logan Lee, and it worked.
First down and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Brown passes over the middle. That time he's got a wide open Chris Curtis. Curtis gets the catch, his second of the day. Gets the first down.
Yeah, and that was a good route by him. He's able to get separation. There was a little bit of a man coverage, and Adam Leach got a little bit lost on the line. I don't know if he just lost where Chris Curtis was, but he was trailing way behind in man coverage on that play.
Vancouver's only had 2 games in franchise history where they've only scored 3 points. Season 10 and season 11. Or in season 21, they can't have another 3-point game. So see if they're able to get some more points on this drive. 5 yards on that pitch to Lee.
See, and that particular play right there is an indication of like how Fort Worth's defense is tackling versus Vancouver's, right? There was one guy there, the DB gets to the running back and brings him down one man. Vancouver has not been able to do that when they're on defense.
Lee gets a little bit caught up at the line. 3rd down and 4 after a tackle by Ben Stone.
Yeah, Coach Andy Hamilton, he just doesn't look too happy on the sideline. He's just trying to get his guys in somewhat of a rhythm, at this point, right? I'm not saying he's admitting defeat. I mean, anything can happen, but, get yourself in a situation. Hey, try some a little bit different things, because the stuff you started the game out with just was not working.
Stiff arm by Lee. Gets him the first down. Delaney Nash with the tackle. 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Now available, free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K 23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at goretroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid is the official console of the Simulation Football League.
See, in this game here is actually, a big for both teams too, by the way. If a win by Fort Worth would look like it's going to be the case, right? It keeps them in first place in that South Division, with Alamo City losing last night in an upset. And Vancouver, they lose here. They drop to 3rd in the division behind Seattle and Portland, who won last night. So it's more troubling for Vancouver in this situation, right? Them coming in, them being 3-3 and then dropping to 3-4 with a loss here. It kind of puts them in a difficult situation where they're looking like they're 2+ games behind of the leader with, after this game, they have 5 games left.
They have not yet played division leading Seattle. That game comes all the way at the end of the season in week 14. So depending on how the rest of the season plays out for them, that could be a big matchup, potentially a division deciding matchup. A lot of football left to play between now and then, of course. 2nd down and 8 inside the final 2 minutes here of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they need to scrap this playbook of what they have, right? I'm sure it's worked for them in practice, had a good week of practice, and felt like, hey, this is what gives them the best chance. Touchdown.
Oh, there we go. Touchdown for Vancouver. Chris Curtis gets the catch, gets the score. And that 3 is now off the board, which is good to see for Vancouver.
Right, and when you're down 5 scores, now you're down 4 scores.
4 scores, and 2 quarters ago it was 0-0.
So it's it's a thing where, hey, look, it's positive, right? Being down 4 is better than being down 5 scores. So, but their defense is going to have to step up. I wouldn't be against them trying something crazy like a surprise onside kick right here just to see if they can get something going. I mean, you're down 4 scores. The chances of you kind of coming back are pretty slim the way Fort Worth has been playing. So why not surprise onside kick them here and see if you can get it?
13 play, 73-yard drive, resulting in their first touchdown of the game. Seven run plays, 6 pass plays. Pretty evenly split drive. Kick kneeled down in the end zone for the touchback. 38-10 is the score. The best of SFL Week 9 includes a rematch of Minnesota and Indianapolis tonight at 9 p.m. Excuse me, that's Sunday night at 9 p.m. The full 13-game Week 9 slate, head over to simulationfl.net and set alarms to make sure you don't miss any of the action. Dunhill throws over the middle and picks up right where they left off, Gerald. Getting it back out to Cade Stevens. 9th completion of the day for Dunhill. Second catch by Cade.
Yeah, and you can see Marcus Dunhill at the line. He's recognized his coverage. He done did the film study. You know, he recognized man coverage and getting the ball to the right guys on the right routes. And you know, Vancouver is still trying to be aggressive on defense, right, and put pressure on Dunhill. But credit to that offensive line of Fort Worth because they're actually picking up every single blitz. I don't even think he's even been pressured back there, Marcus Dunhill. He's been patient and just confident and no worries at all.
Yeah. Just casually throwing first down passes to Cade Stevens. Back-to-back pass plays, back-to-back receptions by Stevens, back-to-back first downs.
Yeah, I mean, and look, and what more could you actually, ask for from your quarterback to wide receiver and all that stuff? And Vancouver, they just don't have nothing in the tank, right? Defensively, they just haven't stopped them at all. All their drives from Fort Worth has resulted in the points.
First down and 10. Bacon back on the ground. Bacon doing Bacon things. Passing the 30, 20, one man to beat, 10, 5, touchdown Bacon. 44 points on the board. Robert Garrett Jr. looking at his jersey and says, hey, look, that's my number. Touchdown Toros.
Yeah, and he made it look easy right there. He kind of got right through the line and did a little bit of a sizzle, did Bacon. And then once he took off running, it was nothing. And it's actually, the tackling right there from Vancouver has just not been there all day. They just, if they get a hand on him, they just can't bring him down. And on the flip side, Logan Lee rushing for 200 yards the past 2 weeks, he isn't able to break those tackles. So, Vancouver's tackling ability has hurt them today in trying to stop the run game from Fort Worth and J.Z. Bacon.
55-yard touchdown run for Bacon, 236 yards now on the day. 3 plays, 79 yards. 2 passes to Cade Stevens, 55-yard touchdown scamper by Bacon. And just when Vancouver thought, we're back in it just a little bit, Fort Worth puts their foot back on their throat, and Marcus Dunhill continues to siphon blood from them. That's what he says. His words. His words.
Look, and he's obviously not apologizing for it either.
No,
because the way he's just throwing those darn passes, and
he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Former MVP as well.
Hall of Famers don't apologize for anything.
Dang.
It's in the Hall of Fame handbook. Thou shalt not apologize for anything ever again.
You guys need to get jackets, Hall of Fame jackets.
So I'm saying. Tripping old lady, you don't got to apologize for that.
You trip him.
You're a Hall of Famer.
You just literally push him down.
Just knock him right over. You know what I did the other day? This is so mean. Riding my motorcycle. About to round a corner. There's 2 little old ladies standing on the corner. Right as I'm rolling by, revved it up just a little bit. They jumped a foot. Kelly was behind me. She saw it happen. She's like, "You scared
keeping
those
them
old
young.
ladies." I'm like, "I know."
It's keeping them young.
Keeping
them young.
Yeah, neither one died. So that's really all that matters.
Yeah, you're gonna read in something like one will live, and the other like, yeah, she went into cardiac arrest a day later, traumatized by motorcycles.
So those of you not participating in the YouTube chat, you're missing out. Marcus Dunhill's there. He's pure 2K12. Logan Lee, Rain Man, Gunny's there. Kate Murphy, Jeff Duffy, the legend. Nice catch by Zorro Lunar, gets the first down. Marcus Dunhill's there as well, and he says, "I swear to God, as soon as Dag said the bit about Dunhill sucking blood, my nose just burst into a nosebleed." See? It's literally happening in real life as it plays out. 3 quarters in the books. 10 minutes to go here from the Stockyards in Fort Worth. The Toros, 45. Vancouver, 10. Chris Curtis with a message for us.
The of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back for the start of the fourth quarter. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith. Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston with us on Stats. Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios. JZ Bacon's second 200-yard game this season. Back on August 5th against Seattle, he had 271 yards. He might get that tonight, too. Nice pass down to Brett Killian crossing midfield. Gets the first down.
You know, if I just see Marcus Dunhill respond to Mark Lopez.
Stopped you dead in your tracks. You're about to make a comment.
Well, I was about to make a comment about Marcus Dunhill. If he's be able to have these warlock type powers across, country lines, it's like, I'm gonna start calling him the warlock. Blood sucking warlock, I guess.
Chris Curtis gets the catch. Dunhill.
He just says, the nosebleed that popped up from Mr. Lopez. His response is, like, that's good.
Blood. Curtis with 57 yards now on 4 catches. He has no mercy.
No.
None. 35-point lead. That pass, good for a gain of 8. Back to Curtis. Second down and 2. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Tackled by E.K. Vincent, the diva.
During your read, I could have sworn I heard a Fort Worth fan straight boo their own team for allowing a Vancouver receiver to catch the ball.
Not only is their quarterback cutthroat and ruthless, but the fans are as well. Logan Lee with his 21st carry of the day. This one good for a nice gain as he gets up to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown for Vancouver. And now Lee with about 100 yards on the day.
And they still have some fight in them left, right? The game isn't over for Vancouver, even though everybody's just kind of doing it. I think most people would say that it's over, but it's not over for Vancouver, right? They have something to play for here, right? Trying to get everything right. And believe it or not, they're down, 4 scores again. And we have almost a full quarter left. If they can somehow get somebody at 3 and out or force some turnovers, I mean, we could look at something pretty crazy happen.
You're hopeful. I can tell.
I am.
Yeah.
The blood sucking must stop.
It's got to stop. It's not nice. It's arguably ruder than revving my motorcycle engine by the 2 old ladies.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. Hey, look, it's the thing. Like, are we going to start betting on chicken grease just because of the game is the way it is?
Oh, I still don't even know what that means. I got to ask him. For those of you who missed it, was who did Queen City play?
Queen City Canton.
Queen City Canton game. And Chris Slovic, play-by-play extraordinaire, one of the finest play-by-play men in the Simulation Football League, asked if they were betting on chicken grease. I don't know what in the heck it was supposed to mean, but that's what he said. We got bacon grease in this game.
Yeah, we do. It's sizzling, too.
Sizzling bacon grease.
Popping right out of the pan.
Sure is.
Yeah, Mr. Slovic says they got a full house. What are they doing, betting on chicken grease?
Yep.
It was one of the most entertaining things I've ever heard him say.
No clue what it meant. Not a bit. But we incorporated it 2 times now into this broadcast. Dunhill back to throw on 2nd down and 8. And he's just making it look so easy. Number 16 gets the catch. Gets the first down.
Mr. Lopez says challenge accepted right as this ball gets completed. To Cade Stevens right over the middle. Mr. Lopez, challenge accepted. I'll just make that tackle. So here we go. Let's get some turnovers and
Yeah, they haven't been able to stop him is ultimately what his point is. The only thing that has stopped Fort Worth so far was halftime. Otherwise, they've scored on every single possession so far in this ball game. Started things off with a 10-play, 66-yard drive back in the first quarter. 6-yard touchdown pass capped that one off. Then they had a 6-play, 69-yard drive. That one was capped off with a 4-yard touchdown rush. 15-yard passing touchdown was what capitalized on the 5-play, 33-yard drive after a turnover. They'd get another interception. That one would result in a 28-yard field goal 4 plays, 7 yards later. They had a 2-play, 20-yard drive, Gerald. That one did not result in points. Why? Because, halftime. Not to fear for Fort Worth. They got the ball back. 10 plays, 69 yards later. Somewhere, Harish is smiling. 2 69-yard drives. He is such a child. 2-yard touchdown rush on that one. Incomplete pass, and finally,
come on, Mark.
Before I can even finish getting into the 3-play, 80-yard drive, 55-yard touchdown rush, they're able to get Fort Worth off the field, 4th down and 8.
Yeah. Mark could have picked that one up and ran it back for pick 6.
That would have been something.
But Mr. Lopez says no. That's the offense's job to score points.
Check that out. Fort Worth has a punter.
Since when?
Just now, here in quarter number 4.
I think that was a fan.
Just you there in the Fort Worth jersey. Come here. We need somebody to kick. BK 12 gets that ball. He's like, all right, back to the stands I go.
Mr. Dunhill says, no, let's just go for it.
Go for it.
It's 4th and 8.
Cutthroat.
Why not?
He's at least a bottle of wine in right now. Guaranteed.
I think he's had quite a few mega pints of blood.
Mega pints. What was that crazy woman's name? I don't know. Who knows? Logan Lee carries that one for a gain of 5. A mega pint. That was a fun trial.
Yeah, very, very, very entertaining.
Could make a movie about that.
I hope they do.
Johnny Depp could play Johnny Depp.
You think the defendant would play herself?
What's her name? I can't even think of it.
Amber Heard.
Yeah, that's right. She's nuts.
She's also Mera in the Aquaman movie.
Speaking of Aquaman, Logan Lee gets a nice gain of 7. Not sure how the two correlate, but they do. 1st down and 10. So we take a peek at Logan Lee's stats. 24 rushing attempts for 91 yards.
And that's almost half of what his season average is, right? He's got 3.8 yards per carry this game, and he averages like almost right at 7 per carry. And
that one's picked off once again. J.L. Browning going back the other way. all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Toros. 2 pick sixes in one game.
Well, I think Marcus Dunhill was quite offended by the punt, so he just, I don't know, opened up something for his defense to be able to just light another fire into him, and then you get J.L. Browning picking it off for the team's 2nd pick 6 of the day.
Delaney Nash had the first one. Browning had that one there. Big man touchdown. J.L. Browning, 6'2", 240 pounds. 7 seasons in the league, all of which have been with the Fort Worth Toros. J.L. Browning gets his 6th career interception, his 1st career pick 6. Congratulations to Mr. Browning. 52-17. 5 minutes to go in this one.
They're 9.5 points from reaching the over-under by themselves.
They might do it. They might do it, and Marcus Dunhill's not afraid to be the man to get those points and beat the over by himself. Not a good day for Christian Brown. 16 of 26, 185 yards. He's got a touchdown. He's got 4 interceptions. Spread the ball around quite a bit. He's got it out to Zora Lunar, Brett Killian, Chris Curtis. Logan Lee's got a couple of catches. But unfortunately, so does the Fort Worth Toros. They've got 4 catches off of Brown's passes. See how they close this one out.
And it might be time too for Vancouver to just, you know, possibly say, hey, look, let's get this young rookie, the 104th pick this previous season's draft, and Austin Blanco out there and see what he can do. And look, the team leader, maybe he had too much blood.
E.K. Vincent being a diva. That's all that is. He'll be fine. 1st down and 10.
Maybe they should have did some orange slices at halftime instead of whatever Dunhill was trying to feed him.
He's giving them all bags of blood. Drink. Drink, my pretties. Brown pitches this one up top to Lee, and picking up right where Vincent left off is number 53, Jeff Duffy. Oh, that man right there used to put the fear of God in Matt Wilson's heart.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's the guy.
All the time. He's like, oh, no, not Duffy. Yes, Duffy.
Longtime Queen City Corsair.
Sure was, yeah. It was that green flash that you'd see running past the offensive line and just crushing Wilson. Many a sack came from Mr. Duffy. This pass over the middle was complete. Jeff Duffy, 123 career sacks, 211 career tackles for a loss. Both of those are 3rd place in league history. Now over here on the Fort Worth Toros, been here 5 seasons, continuing to do what he does, and that's wreak havoc in the backfield.
You know what would be interesting to find out? How many of those sacks were on the great Matt Wilson?
Yeah, how many times specifically? 123 sacks. I'd guess you about 120 of them were against number 12.
I think Matt got to the point where he just seen him coming, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just go down.
So word in from the Fort Worth locker room, the snack at halftime was blood oranges. Dunhill.
Oh, wow. That makes total sense.
Wasn't enough to keep Vincent on his feet. 4 wide receiver set for Vancouver. 6-yard gain to Chris Curtis. They'll go into the hurry up, see if they can get anything going here. Brown to Lee. Lee crosses the 20, gets the 1st down, steps out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Vancouver.
Yeah, and look, and we seen Logan Lee catch one of these passes like this on a similar play earlier in the game. Looking at it now, it's like I think that may have been something that may have been open for Vancouver most of the game, because they were just sitting back in coverage, challenging the offense to run against them, right? And being really good against the run. And then when they got into passing situations, they expected them to throw it deep, and then they just picked the ball off. So I think those little outs like that, in a 3 or 4 wide receiver set could have been successful for Vancouver today.
3 receivers down to the bottom. Brown throws it up to the top, gets it back to Lee. Lee, end zone, touchdown, Vancouver. And they might have noticed this a little too late, though, Gerald, but that did work for him. 2 plays in a row.
Yeah, 2 plays in a row, dumping it off to Logan Lee, and and he just was able to just catch it and get it in there. And it's something. Look, and it's something they might be able to take going forward too, right? Going into look, that's something we might be able to incorporate in the event that a team just shuts down our run game like Fort Worth did today. So I'm looking offensively, it's not a terrible showing outside of those interceptions by Vancouver. I mean, you put up 24 points on a team that's only allowing, 18 points a game, this season. So it's not too bad. You take away those 4 turnovers, which 2 of them were pick 6, that's 14 points, and then the other 2 were interceptions that turned into another 10. So that's 24 points. I mean, you take that reduction down if it's a clean game, and you got a whole different game.
Ball bouncing around, and
Vancouver gets it.
Vancouver recovers the onside kick, so they're not done yet. Great job by the hands team getting Fort Worth to touch the ball, and they will retain possession. Down 28 points here with 4 minutes to go.
And I wonder how many little dump offs to Logan Lee we're going to see on this one.
Lee in the backfield behind Brown. 3 receiver set. Brown throws down to the bottom somehow. Somehow Brett Killian was able to catch that one.
He just stopped, put that big body in front of the defender.
Says my ball. Going over the middle this time. Caught by Chris Curtis. Turns around, surges forward, tunneling for the first down.
Did it give him forward progress on that?
Don't think so. Brown up top, that one off the shoes of Lunar.
Yeah,
2nd down and 10.
They're going with the quick passes, and
oh yeah, they did give him forward progress.
they're going with the quick passes. With the bad thing, I mean, you want to get some quick hitters and stuff like that, and get yourself down the field and get some more points on the board, and then try another onside kick. What are the odds the last 3 minutes and 41 seconds that Vancouver somehow ties this?
3%. Brown gets crushed. Jerry D. Gond with the sack. Fifth on the season. Trying to get it down to BK12. That pass is deflected and incomplete. Gond with 4 sacks coming into the game. 6th best in the league. Registers another one on that previous play. 4th down and 15 now.
And what if I told you that Jeff Duffy, 3rd leading sack guy in the league all time, has no sacks on the season through 6 weeks?
Well, he had a tackle for a loss earlier, so there's that. Brown on 4th and 15 overthrows his target, but a flag on the play. And this could be a break for Vancouver here. Pass interference called on Fort Worth. And they'll get an automatic first down at the Fort Worth 33-yard line.
Yeah, at this stage, it doesn't matter how you get the first down, just as long as you get it. And I don't know exactly where it was, but it was there somewhere. Somebody saw it and threw the flag.
First down and 10.
Yeah, and it's a new set of down for Vancouver.
Josh Farnsworth says, until 000, you keep going, Vancouver. And go they shall.
And he seemed to have picked up the pace like quite a bit. And their play calling has been better in the passing game, in the 4th quarter.
Short drop by Brown, throws over the middle. That one could have been potentially pass interference as well. Tried to hit Ruiz. 2nd down.
Yeah, and they still got time. The clock isn't running right with it. Each incomplete pass, it stops the clock. But at some point, I mean, you can't, take the clock too far down.
Yeah.
You got to throw a little bit deeper.
Short drop again by Brown. Throws it not only short, Gerald behind the line of scrimmage. That one for a 3-yard loss. They'll hurry back to the line, see if they can get something positive out of this next play. 5-step drop by Brown. Throws first down yardage, but that one is incomplete. Well defended by Tavius Gordon. Just draped all over Chris Curtis on that one. 4th and 13. They converted a 4th and 15 on this drive via penalty. See what they do here.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get it done, but very, very good defensive play by the rookie on the longtime veteran wide receiver in Chris Curtis.
4 wide receiver set on 4th and 13. 1 up top, 3 to the bottom. From the Fort Worth 36-yard line. Zora Lunar in motion. Now 2 on each side. Brown to throw up top, way short of the line to gain. Questionable play call there as they get that one to Stephen McMichaels, but it'll be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, I would think at this stage right here, right, and what you have out there, I wouldn't. That's not a very, very good formation to come out in, where you actually have, one of your backup tight ends in there in the game. Well, maybe it's not backup tight end, but
no, he's just the number 2 tight end.
It's just. A tight end out there, I think you want more of your speed burners that can stretch down the field, especially needing 13 yards.
First down and 10 for Fort Worth. Aaron Alexander getting back in on the action. As he surges forward for nothing. He does have a touchdown on the game, though. Not too bad. This week, we're back at it on Monday night for Vice Wars. The 3-4 Las Vegas Fury head to Denver. They're also 3-4. It's going to be a crucial battle for playoff positioning. Kickoffs at 8:15 p.m. this week in the SFL at 7:15. In Week 10, we've got our first flex. The Arizona Scorpions will welcome the Portland Fleet in prime time on October 2nd. All times Eastern. The next Monday Night Spectaculars coming to SFL YouTube. Second down and 10. Alexander, doing his best Jay-Z Bacon impersonation. Gets a nice gain on that one. First down, Toros.
Yeah, Alexander just kind of got a big gaping hole to run through and just ran right through it and got himself in a very, very good position to just run. Look at it. Look at the blocking there.
20 yards on the day now for Aaron Alexander. 2 minutes to go here in this one. All Fort Worth, they've got the ball. And they got the lead. They got the hometown crowd. They got everything going for them, Gerald.
Maybe some questionable practices to get the spirits on their side.
Yeah, their last practice may have been a seance. Aaron Alexander rolls forward for a gain of 7. We've got an update from Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios.
Thank you, Mike. We haven't had a touchdown in Seattle in nearly 50 minutes of actual game time. This was the last one for Baloo Scott. Houston's defense playing well, but Seattle back in the red zone as they are now into the fourth quarter. 21-16, a good ball game to end off this block. We'll see you there when you're done in Texas. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cam. This one just about wrapped up. Fort Worth, they're going to head to 7-0 on the season. Let's talk about some of their upcoming games. Next week, they head to Sioux Falls to take on the Sparrows. Then they are back here at the Stockyard. They host the Minnesota Legend. 2 more road games. They'll take on the Portland Fleet and Los Angeles Lycans before finishing at home against Alamo City in Week 14. Gerald, out of those remaining 5 games, only one of those teams has a winning record. So the 7-0 Fort Worth Toros are about to face off against 4 teams that have a losing record or 500 record at best, and then finishing up against Alamo City, potentially for the South Division title.
Yeah, and I think that's what everybody's eyeing up right now, right? It's not like anybody's overlooking, at least from a fan standpoint, not overlooking their schedule, but everybody wants to see Alamo City versus Fort Worth right now, right? The way that they're kind of going down, and both these teams are playing really good football. Even though Alamo City lost last night, to a good team, but but Portland's been playing pretty well as of late, and don't forget, Portland beat Alamo City, and then you had LA take down the 5-2 Arizona Scorpions last night as well.
Yeah.
So on that schedule, they played those two teams in back-to-back weeks on the road before they play Alamo City to end the season. So, and look, next week for Fort Worth, they go to Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls is by far the best team that takes away the football from any team in the league.
I'm terrified to play them here at 9 o'clock.
Right. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of offense they come out with, right? So Sioux Falls started out kind of rocky, right, where they had their quarterback was throwing interceptions at an alarming rate.
Yeah.
I think he had 8 or 9 interceptions in a game early in the season against San Diego. And so it's going to be interesting to see what Fort Worth does next week. So I don't think they have a cakewalk. And Minnesota's a team that won their own division last season. It's one of the better teams. So none of these teams are, all these teams on this list, even though Minnesota's been struggling lately, all the teams on their schedule, man, are not pushovers at all.
Vancouver, they're coming up games. They've got 3-4 Denver. Then they hit the road against 4-4 San Diego. They host Houston. It's currently 4-3, and then they're at Portland in Week 13. Week 14, they close out against Seattle, who's 5-2 and potentially going to go to 6-2 today, depending on the outcome of that game. Anything could still happen. So, a lot of around 500 teams on their schedule. Still, a lot of football left ahead for them. Could certainly end this season with a winning record, which they have done now for the past 7 seasons in a row since season 14. But this one, a loss for them, goes down in the books as a 52-24 loss. Gerald, as we take a peek here at the final stats in this one, your final thoughts? The Jay-Z Bacon show, I would call it.
Yeah, Jay-Z Bacon show, and he had to be approaching his career high in a game. I don't think he reached it. I think he actually had 271 yards against Seattle early this season. So he's got to be somewhere close in that range, 20 or 30 yards short. But this game was over at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah,
so
they
just kind of ran away with it. So Vancouver's got a lot to fix. Fort Worth, just keep doing what you're doing. You did what you've done all season, and just keep moving forward.
Fort Worth, they improved to 7-0 on the season. Vancouver falls to 3-4. Got more SFL action coming up just a little bit, Gerald. There's more football left to be played. A couple of games at the 9 o'clock block. So stick around. Still plenty more SFL action tonight. Got Sioux Falls at Mexico City at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and at 9:15 San Diego at Tulsa. A couple of exciting games. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. For Gerald Smith, Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who's always with me in spirit, I'm Mike Dyke saying thank you for joining us. Be kind to one another. Choose happy. Have a great night. We'll see you.